barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So I just saw Dante's video, and that immediately obviously perked my ears up. And then I went to the Boxing Voice and listened to the interview. And I want you guys to listen to this conversation, and then I'm going to elaborate on this further. I want you guys to listen to this real quick.
Hey. Until I start leaning these hammers.
No, but it's not fake.
Then it get real.
It's not fake.
It get real.
Get in the ring. But,
Yeah,
but he was being a fake.
Yeah.
JoJo. He want to be a JoJo. He want to.
He's a JoJo.
He did. He want to be a JoJo because he want to be in somebody else's fame. Like me, that was Danny's time.
Oh, you mean when he
that was the Danny Garcia show, not the Shawn Porter show. That was that was Danny's Circus. That was Danny Garcia's Circus. But I don't want to say what he was. He came in as the, you know who he came in as, the right? Because then they're gonna call me racist.
I could call you racist. He's a clown.
What is up, TBV family? Yeah.
All right, shout out to Ness for doing this video. Ness, don't block. I think Ness is doing a hell of a job. That motherfucker's everywhere right now. But that's from the Boxing Voice. The title of that video is Danny Garcia. Shawn Porter lost all his step-up fights. Couldn't knock out Granados, who's 140 pounds. All right, so go watch the full interview, and you can feel the tenor of this. Of this. And the reason why I wanted you guys to hear this is because whenever someone is saying something that's going to ruffle feathers, they always shout out a disclaimer, right? I don't want to offend you. You know you my homie, right? You know we've been down for a long time, and my idea is, why would he was implying to call the Porters monkeys. And my idea is, why would you want to call them monkeys? The most famous person in the circus is the clown. I swear I thought clown. I thought the same thing as Ness. I was like, clown? And he said, no, monkey. Well, he implied. He didn't say monkey. He said, you're going to call me racist. So a gorilla, a monkey, a bear, something of that. But my guesstimation would be monkey. Now, let's go. I'm not going to talk about everything, but he called Terrence Crawford nappy head, Zab Judah the N-word, Keith Thurman the N-word. He has a history of when you feel pressure is how the true character is. When everything is go well. And I want you guys to understand that someone eloquently put this in a quote. I don't know if it's Maya Angelou, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Somebody said this in an eloquent quote, but I'm just going to paraphrase. When things go well, people will tell you how great their character is, or people will tell you how great your character is. When pressure arises, you have to reveal what your character truly is. And every time not every time, many times when Angel Garcia gets resistance from a black man, he reverts to discriminatory actions. He reverts to racial slurs. He reverts to putting them in an inferior position. You understand? And that's not cool. Like, I asked him, not jokingly, but passively, about these comments. And I think now is the time where we need to have these conversations. They got the media workout today at 2:00 at the Porter's gym. But I wanted to get this out. Hopefully some media members will get this, and hopefully we get an answer as it relates to this, pertaining to this subject matter. But I don't know. Well, it's definitely going to excite fans for sure. This quote will definitely get people riled up to watch the fight. And Danny Garcia is in a pickle position. One, that's his father. Two, that's his trainer. But you can't consistently co-sign with this, because I wouldn't think to call. Honestly, I don't think you guys not going to believe me anyway, so let's just stay on topic. How will Danny, for example, why would he think of this in this situation? It's a pretty casual, no pressure. They're basically having a conversation. I feel Ness has a relationship with him. That's the way I feel, as if they're sitting down, giving him 15 minutes of their time, and he's covered them in their camp 2 days, 2 separate times, if I'm not mistaken. I can tell by how he uploads his videos. But why does he consistently reverts to black people in a derogatory manner? And I know Ness is, I'm not sure if he's Puerto Rican, Dominican. I'm uncertain of that, but I know he's of that cloth. He's somewhere in that realm. And the conversation needs to be had. I know Angel uses the N-word. Danny uses the N-word. Ness uses the N-word. And I'm from, and I know people in California don't fully grasp this concept. And I completely understand. I'm not even going to disclaim or discredit you or disagree or even attempt to debate you on this. It's a completely different culture in New York as it is as it is in California. Puerto Ricans are black in New York. They're just in when they walk out of their house and they leave out of their father's house, they're black. Fat Joe uses the N-word. Big Pun uses the N-word religiously. All right, they are accepted as black people. We not understand, but they've accepted the fact that they have black blood in them. Black people have accepted, for the most part. I mean, there are people who disagree, but I'm talking about the culture. I'm talking about the contemporary culture, the hip hop culture per se. It's rather norm, right? You see a lot of Puerto Ricans with tapered haircuts, baggy pants. They dress similar to black people. And I'm not saying that it's correct. I understand where you're coming from when you say the word should only be used by black people. I'm not even going to disagree with you on that, right? Because personally, I'm in a space right now in my life where I'm not being derailed by, my life is not being derailed by a man saying one word to me. You understand? And I understand as a man intent. I've been called nigger on internet in real life to my face. I fought over the word. I've walked away from people saying the word. But now I'm in a space now where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna walk away. Does it move me? Does it generate a reaction out of me? Yes. But my reaction is more powerful. What I have on the other side of that in terms of me getting in my car, me going home to my family, has more value to me now, currently in my life. That's why I don't block people on Instagram, on YouTube. They call me nigga. It doesn't move me per se. You know what I'm saying? It may bother you to a certain degree, and I respect all that. I'm not debating that in this video. But it bothers me that when Angel Garcia gets pressure, or when he wants to describe a black person in a negative term, he calls them a nigger. Now, if he's accepting of the fact that Puerto Ricans are black, then I guess it's okay, right? Right? He's accepting of the slave trade. He's accepting of, when actuality, Puerto Ricans are basically descendants of Africa, okay, for the most part, because we all know about the one drop rule, right? The one drop rule is in full effect until the sun disintegrates. I don't care what no one says. All right, I have mixed children, and I fully understand that when they walk out of their doorstep and they're not with Dre's family, they are black. I fully understand it. I fully grasp that, and that's just the reality of the world of America that we live in. Now, my question to Angel Garcia, because I know someone from his camp is going to watch this video. Why? Well, first of all, one, do you consider Puerto Ricans are descendants of Africa? And then we can go from there. If he says no, if he says yes, then I have to take a step back and say, well, I guess you consider yourself a black man. Or do you consider yourself a Latin man? Do you consider yourself a black man blessed to be able to speak 2 languages? Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm not giving this man an out, but I think it's very important that before I personally delve into a situation like this, I know where he's coming from. I'm not accepting of the fact that I won't accept that I'm a Latino, and because I grew up around black people, I can use the word and call black people that anytime I feel pressure. That's not acceptable to me. I want to make that very clear in this video. All right. So I don't want no back and forth. Fred isn't swaying because I'm not swaying on this subject, but I think that there has to be a foundation. All right. Now, if he doesn't think that he's black, Then we got conversation. Then we have dialogue, and he needs to look another black man in his eye that's probably as successful as him, and he needs to fully understand. I'm not coming from the streets. Angel Garcia is a rather. I'm gathering. He get 35 fights in, 36 fights in. He's been in about $10 million fights. They're okay. For sure, they're okay. And I think he needs to understand from a man as successful, as sincere as I am. He needs to fully understand what does it do. Now he probably understands it, but I don't think he's seen it. I don't think he's seen it. He's felt it. He's visualized it. He's touched it, right? And I think that needs to be very apparent. And because here's the catch. When it comes out of their mouth, then we have a right to create dialogue, create an interview. But when we're thrusting and implying this on him, then I would say media is out of their circle. They're wrong for doing this. But Angel Garcia has done this consistently. And back-to-back fights, 2 out of the last 3 fights, back-to-back fights at Barclay, he has alluded to a black man as being a derogatory term. So we're going to sit back and we're going to see. I'll be there from the 5th through the 8th. I'm like, honestly, I swear to you guys, we've run out of things to talk about. Well, not really, but by Friday at the weigh-in, I done interviewed these guys 10 or 15 times. You know what I mean? But I think it's very important that we have this conversation, we have this dialogue, and let's be clear. There's racism in boxing. Racism in boxing exists on both ends of the spectrum. Okay, and I would concur with Dante when he says people need to fully understand the ramifications. All right, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're white, Indian, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Dominican. We need to truly understand the ramifications of every word and every action that we create. And I'm very cognizant of what and where I do. Like, I do silence. I don't shake white men's hands. If I don't deem you for me, I'm not shaking your hand. I don't shake but I don't call them, I don't disrespect them publicly. I mean, outwardly, it doesn't come out of my mouth, but I just ignore them. I've been in business meetings with multimillionaires, money that I will never ever see in my life, quite frankly. I don't know, but Floyd Mayweather type money, and I've given them knuckles. I'm being real sincere with you. Like, I don't shake their hands. Like, and sometimes they force me, and I just decline. I say my hands are dirty. I lie. Say I just picked the boogers. I don't know. I make stuff up on the fly. All right, and so that's just real. That's just who I am. That's just who organically I am. I have tons of white friends. Literally, if you put them all up and they add all they weight up. No, but I have great white friends. I just to clear up, because I'm a racist. You guys know I have an accountability team. Kenny Porter has actually met them. There's 6 of us. 1 is white, and we've been having this text and phone call conversations. We meet every Labor Day. You guys will meet him this year probably. Labor Day. He's coming in October though. You guys will meet him, and he'll be glad to share his story. 10 plus years, we have a text. 10 plus years text. And I said we've talked about race, religion, politics, infidelities, homosexuality, money, going broke, being homeless, college, everything you can discuss. That line is open for every conversation. All right, and we've made a unwritten pact that this is our line of communication, and we have an obligation to be as vulnerable and honest as we can. And I just think it's just despicable. It's deplorable that a man of his stature, but you are who you are, right? Donald Sterling, Hulk Hogan, as Dante alluded to. You understand? You are who you are. All right. The money don't change you. It exposes who you really are, because now you're a public figure and you have more time to tell people who you really are. All right. You can hide in the cave when you're poor, and no one's gonna really care who you're about. But Angel Garcia is a celebrity. In the boxing realm, he's a celebrity. He can't go nowhere in Philadelphia and not take a picture. Every day of his life, he's walking down some famous street in Philadelphia taking a picture. No doubt in my mind. All right, I don't doubt that. Danny Garcia is the same way. And that's what I want for these fighters. I want these fighters to be popular, get all the money that they can. I want to be an ally and an asset to these guys. But when Zab Judah, Keith Thurman, and now the Porters, it's just very alarming that whenever he's faced resistance or wants to speak badly of a black fighter or a black team, he labels them a derogatory term. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I know this is going to be a hotbed on the LDBC and everyone, but that's why I played it and didn't interpret it for you guys. You guys use your own interpretation, because if I'm fighting Brandon Rios, I don't say, I would never want to call Brandon Rios. And the reason why I use Brandon Rios, because that's his last opponent, Danny Garcia's last opponent. No bone in me thinks of Brandon Rios as a racist. So if I'm fighting Brandon Rios, I don't say, well, if I can't say what he is because they'll consider me a racist. Nothing in me thinks Brandon Rios is a racist. Nothing in me. I think Brandon Rios is one of the coolest dudes. So you see where I'm coming from, and the same label and the same energies in which you think of Brandon Rios is pretty similar to the Porters. Pretty similar, and I'm thinking I'm being as on, and I think that's a fair assessment, right? Good people, good guy, speaks a lot. Kenny Porter versus Brandon Rios, they speak a lot, very outspoken, but they've never, they had the incident in China with the Pacquiaos, but what I'm saying is, he's never viewed as that. The Porters are never viewed as that, right? So, anyways, interesting conversation. Let's have this dialogue. I'm interested to read your comments, and let's go. So, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Talk to you guys real soon. Peace.